Hi everyone, back to the More YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day, and it's a good, powerful, strong message from Eddie Howe to Alexander Isak and to any other player who wants to try the stunt that the Swedish striker has pulled. So Eddie Howe was speaking after the draw against Spurs over in Korea, the last game of our Asia tour. The lads are flying back. I think it should be back in Newcastle tomorrow probably, or today if you're probably watching this on Monday. So Alexander Isak has been AWOL, apparently. Eddie Howe was asked if he knew he was in Spain, and he said he did, but only because he read it in the media. I'm pretty sure Eddie Howe would not have liked that. I heard through the grapevine potentially that Isak was told to go home by Howe and stay home, and if he's defied the managers directly, no wonder Eddie Howe is pissed at this. And I'm loving this strong stance from Eddie Howe. I really, really am. He turned around and what he said was, you have to earn the right to train with us. Players who behave in an inappropriate way can't just expect to come back in and train with the team. And I think that's brilliant, because Alexander Isak's got a bit of a free pass from this so far. There's nobody in the upstairs echelons of the club to come down hard enough, to come out in the media and basically drag him through the dirt and say that's not the way our players should behave and force his hand. But I think he's pissed Eddie Howe off, and I think Eddie Howe's had a conversation with him, because all of a sudden this little trip to Spain with his training team was ended quite abruptly, and he was heading back to Newcastle. And I think Eddie Howe's got on the blower to him and said, Alex, what the fuck are you doing? You're taking a piss. And I think Isak has took the piss. I think his people have badly advised him. I don't think Isak's a bad lad at heart. I really don't. I think he's been really poorly advised by money-grabbing representatives he is clearly their biggest client, and he's their biggest payday. The £C signs from the Liverpool offer, and they want it done. And I think Eddie Howe's had personally intervene here and talk to the player and say, I want you back on Tyneside. This is not the appropriate behaviour. I'm not happy with you at all. And Isak's flown back to Newcastle. A penny for his thoughts when he comes back training. If he comes back training, let me know in the comments below. Do you think he will turn back in for training? If he's got anything about him, he will do, because this move to Liverpool right now still isn't anywhere closer to being done. There's rumours of Darwin Núñez leaving, Saudi Arabia coming to the rescue again. I cannot get my head around this. I really can't. If Newcastle United's 80% owners are basically enabling Liverpool to buy their star player, I just can't understand it. PIF, help me out, please. Explain to me what the logic is behind this. I really don't. Unless we end up buying Šeško, Visa, Scalvini, and get a good centre-half in the mix as well, then I understand it. I totally understand it. You're driving the hardest price. You help Liverpool pay the 150 million quid plus a player maybe. Then I get it. Then I understand it. But until that time either happens or doesn't happen, and I'm leaning more towards it doesn't happen, I can't understand it. I really, really can't. I can't understand it at all. So, Alexander Isak is due back in Benton for training. There'll be cameras parked outside, you guarantee it. Keith Downey will be outside there. Keith Downey, I said, Mark Goldbridge, Sky Sports presenter. Read him up, look him up, Wikipedia. He'll be outside the training ground, probably with Adam Pearce and the rest of the crew, wondering what's going on. And to be fair fucks to them, If I wasn't doing my day job, I'd be out there with a camera as well, because you want to see what's happening when Isak comes into the ground. You want to see the situation. I'm very curious to know how his teammates will respond to this, because they'll feel let down, there is no doubt about it. And if he doesn't turn up for training, then this situation is going to get even worse. It really, really is. The only way I think he won't turn up for training is if Newcastle get a decision from Benjamin Šeško over the next couple of days that says he is coming to the football club and he's coming for a medical. Then the Isak deal will accelerate, I believe, and he'll go to Liverpool. But as it stands right now, Šeško is still undecided. Apparently there's rumours Manchester United are going to match the financial bid that Newcastle are willing to put in. We're waiting for the player to decide. There's a feeling in the mix that he favours Manchester United. And I've said it before, Manchester United are a bigger club historically, in kind of with legacy. I suppose they are a bigger club, but they're not a better team right now. They haven't got a better manager, and they're not a better choice for a young 22-year-old centre-forward who's looking to develop his game and arguably become one of the best strikers on the planet. What I would say to Benjamin Šeško is, look at Alexander Isak. He come from La Liga, 6 goals he scored in a season, injury prone. Nobody wanted to take a chance on him. And look at him now. He's arguably the second best striker on the planet, thanks to the management and coaching of Eddie Howe and the players in Newcastle providing the assists. You could get that as well, Benjamin. Look at Manchester United. They're a mess. They're 1 or 2 incidents away from another disaster and a drama being played out in public. They hate their owners. They want their owners out. Sergio Ratcliffe is just a puppet of the Glazers. Yes, they've signed a couple of good players, and if they get Šeško, that'll be another good player. But Manchester United ruins young careers right now. It doesn't nurture them. That's what Newcastle United do, and that's what Eddie Howe does. So if I was influencing Benjamin Šeško in any possible way, that would be the decision that I would make. But listen, he'll do what he does. And if he doesn't choose Newcastle, I think Alexander Isak goes nowhere. I think he stays at Newcastle. He's going to have to eat humble pie. He's going to have to get back into the team. He's going to have to prove to Eddie Howe, more importantly, but prove to his teammates, prove to the supporters that he is up for it. He is willing to put the yards in and score goals. But the problem with Alexander Isak is, if he does come back into the picture, because the Šeško deal falls through and Newcastle don't have another striker to go to, any little off game that he has, the fans will be on him. He has to be fully at it if he does come back into this squad. I don't think he wants to come back at it. I don't think he wants to play for us anymore. I think he's made that clear. He wants to go to Liverpool. He's been dazzled by the bright lights of winning the league or possibly winning the Champions League, and that's what he's done. And for me, I'm not even sure it's a clever move, to be honest with you. Liverpool are a huge football club and a great team, and Arne Slot's done a brilliant job, there's no doubt about it. But are they a bigger team than Barcelona? No. Are they a bigger team than Real Madrid? No. And I think those are the teams that would come in for Isak next summer if he stayed at Newcastle and had another 25, 30 goal a season. I think he's moving there a little bit prematurely. He'll be 27 going 28 next year, but I think he'd have the Lewandowski shirt, no doubt about it. But he's obviously got his heart set on Liverpool. His dreams to play for Liverpool, as Romano and all the other fucking influence and wet wipes turn around and say, I hate the rhetoric they come out with. It's absolutely shit. It really, really is. But going back to Eddie Howe's message in particular, I think it's great. I really, really do. I think it shows a side of Eddie that we've been asking for a while, that ruthlessness, that toughness about him. He's so articulate and intelligent and warm and engaging, and seems to have a great relationship with his players. But don't take the piss. Don't ruin that reputation. Don't risk that relationship by acting like a spoiled brat, which is what Alexander Isak has done. I've seen some people in our comments, I can't believe you're attacking Isak. I'm attacking Isak because I think he's behaved appallingly. I think Liverpool have behaved quite classless. I think they've unnecessarily unsettled the player. They've obviously fancied their chances because his people have let Liverpool know that he fancies the move. So again, his people are in the wrong. Isak's in the wrong. Liverpool haven't done things particularly well either. Newcastle haven't handled it well either. They haven't tied this player down or fucked him off, one of the two. So there's been a catalogue of errors with this whole situation. But I think personally now Eddie Howe is offended. He's pissed off with Isak, and I'm loving hearing that tone from Eddie Howe, and Isak is going to have to come back to training ground with his tail between his fucking legs. And if he doesn't, he's an even bigger shithouse than any of us thought he was. But we'll have to watch this space over the next 24, 40 hours. I think the Šeško decision will be imminent. Newcastle apparently have put a bit of a timescale on it. They want an answer within 24 hours. And I think that's right, because they've either got to decide to shit or get off the pan and go for the targets. And if Šeško's just going to string us along with the hope that Manchester United come and get him, then there's no point talking to the player. But if the player generally does want to come to Newcastle, giving him that time scale, could maybe just push him on and make a decision one way or the other. Hopefully he makes it in the way of a black and white shirt. The number 9's waiting for you, Big Ben. Come on, come to the club, score goals, be the next legend, and we can fuck Isak off down the M62 at Liverpool, the greedy bastard that he is. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below about Eddie Howe's strong message to Isak. Do you agree with it? Do you think Isak will rock up the training? Let us know. And how do you feel about the Šeško deal? Do you think we're going to get him, or do you think Manchester United are going to nick him away from us like the rest of the window's gone? Always like to hear your opinions. Like and subscribe. Keep it evermore. Have a cracking day wherever you are. We'll catch you later. Cheers.
Heroes celebrate. They have done it.